What's up, everyone? Welcome to Nickel City Mafia, the Nickel City Rush Hour segment. We are back. It's been a while since we've been live. Oh my goodness. I don't know, Jake. It's been over 2 months, I think. I mean, this show was built on being live. When I started this channel, I was live. I didn't know what the hell I was doing, screwing up all the time. Then you joined me, Jake, and we are still always live. We do a few videos once in a while. Over the years, I've gotten a little better at editing, but initially, I didn't know how to edit a video at all. It was go live, and what happens on live stays on live. There is no hiding your mistakes like we can with a video or we edit it. But man, I am so happy to be back, especially with you two guys. Jake, how you doing, sir?
Fantastic, Mike. I'm going to crack a beer to that. A little
go.
soft sponsorship with Labatt. Not a big deal. I have mentioned it in some of our videos, but never have done it so on a live show. So cheers to you guys. It's a pleasure to be back. Happy to be here. Trek reviewer, I see you out there in the comments. We're fired up for this one. I mean, football season is here. Boys, we got a football game this week. Thursday.
Really?
Hall of Fame game.
Who's playing? Who's playing?
The Lions and Chargers.
Yes. Lions and Chargers. Yes. Thank you, Brett.
Good stuff.
I drew a blank there. That's not good either. Hey, preseason.
Hey, if you're going to announce it, Jake, you better know the teams, right?
No, I just had a total brain fart for a second there. I don't know.
Yeah.
Barely started drinking.
Check reviewer. He joined. He always comes out like 10 minutes before the show starts, and then we never see him during the show. But we appreciate you, Trek reviewer. I saw you. He posted a 2026 mock draft in our Discord. And for those of you out there that haven't joined our Discord, it's absolutely free. There he is, cut cam.
Yep, there he is.
Based on the reports out of camp in the first week, Trek reviewer, that's going to be hard to do. But I'm just saying, Trek reviewer in the Discord posted a 2026 mock draft with a lot of details. And speaking of the Discord, it's free. The link is in the description of the show down below. Join us. I promise you, it's absolutely free. A lot of good people in that Discord. We don't have a ton of people, but everyone that's in there loves sports. Football, majority of them. We talk hockey. We talk baseball. Heck, we even have a thread for conspiracy theories. My goodness, we got everything we're talking about down over there. So click the link, join us. You won't be disappointed. Mr. Brett, how you doing, sir? It's been a while since we've seen you. I've seen you. I know you and Jake. Why don't you talk about it a little bit? You got to finally meet in person. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, I'm doing great. I have been just kind of enjoying my family and running my own channel, which is has taken off like I wouldn't imagine it would. But I had the opportunity about a month ago to meet Jake in person. Went to Buffalo, and we had some amazing wings at Sunny Reds, which was a great spot just around the corner from the stadium. And I got to meet not only Jake, but his father too, Big Al, and they are incredible people. Listen, if I'll tell you this from the bottom of my heart, Jake is one of the most probably nicest people I've met. He took time out of his day when he had time to spend with his family, met me. I mean, it's been 4 or 5 times that we tried to meet in person, and he finally did it. He was able to take the kids and give them to his wife and make time for me, which was really nice. I really appreciated that. And we had a great lunch together, talked about football the whole entire time. And it's just like, two boys that have known each other our whole entire lives catching up pretty much, even though we've never met in person before. So I had a great time talking to him and eating wings up there. I mean, gosh, the food that we had was amazing throughout the whole entire trip, and just spending time with some quality friends and some family was great.
That's awesome, Brett. Jake is the only one who's met all of us, me, you, and Sean in person. I've yet to meet you or Sean, but Jake, he's not hub, right? He's right there in Buffalo. He's like 5 minutes from the stadium, the old stadium, the new stadium. And you got to see it, Brett, right?
Yeah.
Tell us about that a little bit.
I got to see it about a month ago. One of the goals that I've always had is to pretty much dedicate my son as a Buffalo Bills fan officially. I held him up in front of the old Highmark Stadium and did the little Simba pose like they do in Lion King, and dedicated him as a Bills fan. Listen, this stadium that we have in Buffalo, it is massive. You can see it all over, the entire region of Buffalo. You can see it. You can see it from pretty much I-90 all the way in. It's incredible. And it's going to be something that's state of the art, and I can't wait to see this stadium with so many fans in there. And the first game that we have in the stadium, I'm promising you this, there's going to be a championship banner that's going to be raised in that stadium, and that's the way to do it. We're going to make it happen. It's the last season at Highmark Stadium. A lot of bad juju that's there. O.J. Simpson's passed away, so now the juju's gone. So we're going to win the Super Bowl. We're going to finish it out on a good note and raise the championship banner in Buffalo.
That'd be fantastic. Trey, good to see you out there. Thanks for joining us tonight. You guys went to Sunny Reds. Now, I got to say, I just about finished my top 8 wing places, and now I'm hearing Jake helping with that initially. Now I'm hearing him say Sunny Reds might be top 5 or something. So, Jake, do I need to edit that video? Does Sunny Reds need to fit in there?
Yeah, I think it may have just creeped into my top 5. I would say number 5 right now for me. I mean, it's it might outdo Elmo's. Honestly, I think it might even be number 4. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it was really good. I mean, fantastic job. Brett, it was a pleasure meeting you. Michael McDurphy, your dad, by the way, absolute legend. I mean, the guy is a stud. He is Buffalo through and through, and I see exactly why you are the way you are. You were raised by that man. That dude, he's a real one. So it was a pleasure.
Doing that with a heart injury too. I mean, he had, the heart injury that he was dealing with, and still to be able to go out there and have a good time and talk about football. I mean, that's thing.
And he ordered a beef on weck, Mike. That was all he wanted. He just like, I need to get this beef on weck. He ordered it. He liked it. I guess they have a good beef on weck there too. So bonus land, right? You get the wings and the beef on weck. I mean, that's kind of what Barbell does, right? They got the wings and the beef on weck. You get the 2 for 2 there. Can't beat it. That's a real Buffalo staple.
Yeah, there's not too many places you can go to get really good beef on weck and wings. So it's good that you're talking about Sunny Reds. Now, Big L saying, hey, they're lucky to make the top 10. So
yeah, I don't know what happened with his wings. He wasn't super impressed by them. I don't know if it was like a matter of just not putting enough sauce on his, or I don't know, because my wings were really freaking good. I got their famous General Sow wing in addition to the medium style. Actually, I think I got hot. And God, I mean, it was just done perfectly. And the amount of sauce to wing ratio was perfect. It wasn't too crunchy. It was just the right amount of consistency, exactly what you like to see. We should have probably put some pictures up here for you to actually witness. But God, it was so good. If I could paint a picture, just think of the most perfect chicken wings you've ever seen, and that's what it was.
Oh,
I'll paint the picture for you real quick, okay, Mike? I've never seen so many napkins on the table after we finished the whole entire meal from, not only myself, but Jake too. I mean, his whole entire face was covered in this wing sauce. It was awesome to see, but man, I mean, we went through probably 2 or 3 things of paper towels, and I feel bad for them. We probably have to get them some Bounty paper towels because we put a nice little bill on them.
That's why they charge so much for the wings these days.
Yeah, right.
Got to pay for all those napkins. That's amazing. And the good thing is, Elmo's is like the one part that I haven't finished because I've been waiting for video from Jake. I'm gonna toss out. Elmo's is gonna fall, and now I have video from Sonny's. It's gonna make the top 8. Sorry, Big Al. I got to get this thing done. Jake has been just letting me down with getting some video. I just need Elmo's.
Big Al's retired. He should be going to all the wings.
Big Al.
Problem is he's on a diet too there, Mike. But I mean, you go like keto or something, you go low carb, you could do those hot wings. Not a problem.
Speaking of Big Al, by the way, good to see you, Steve. Steve says, I cooked an SCA comp in Mafia House last weekend. Got to say goodbye to the Ralph and say hello to the new stadium. A very special weekend. That's fantastic, Steve. Steve's our steak, one of the top steak cooks in the country. And every time we try to get together, I try to do a show with them right before 4th of July so that everyone could cook an amazing steak just to make it happen. But someday, Steve, we're going to get you on here. We're going to have a show. Promise.
For sure. I'll tell you just a little bit more, Mike, about Sunny Reds. So they were named after Donnie Brasco. I don't know if you remember that show back in the day. But there's a character on Donnie Brasco called Sunny Reds. That's pretty much how they got the name.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I talked to the owner, actually. I messaged him on Instagram, got a little bit more details on it. And I'm going to do a new show probably within the next couple of weeks. Hopefully I'm going to get him on the channel. He said that he's very busy, but he's going to try and make it on. If not, he'll do an official statement and give me some details on how the wings are made and how they started, but they've been in business for quite a few years now. And I know that it's becoming a popular spot with Eric Wood doing a show on his podcast, and now Nickel City Mafia and Go Bills podcast joining in on getting them a little bit more recognition for what they do.
I love it. Big L saying you guys should get Steve down in Buffalo. And Steve, I mean Jake, this would be fantastic. Get Steve in your backyard, cooking up a steak live, have that streaming live. That would be fantastic. What a great time that would be.
Let's get it done, Steve. Next time you're in town, shoot me a message somewhere.
Let's go.
We'll link up. That'd be great.
So speaking of training camp, Big L was there, right? Then Big L was there. I mean, he sent some. What do you have to share with you, Jake, after his visit there? And did he go by himself?
No. So he got some special invite from his buddy that had some like exclusive tickets or whatever. I think he was on there near the sideline, it looked like. So he was able to really get an in-depth look at everything going on. He was face-to-face basically with Damar Hamlin and David Edwards and some other guys, Alec Anderson in the one picture that I sent. He said it was good. And, the guys were looking good out there. He didn't really give me a whole lot of names of players that like look legit though. That was the thing. I wanted some more analysis from that side, but I mean, from my understanding, there's some guys starting to shine a little bit in those competition battles, and obviously some injuries as well. So we'll talk about that a little bit as we go on. But yeah, he was able to experience it on day one. So pretty cool.
Nice. Yes, that was cool. He sent some video to us as well. So that was much appreciated. So let's get into camp a little bit. And it's the first week of camp. I think the vets, they showed up on the 22nd. And talk to me, Jake, about, this first week. There's no pads. You hear a lot of these beat writers, especially the ones that are there, able to watch. They're putting out so much content. But talk to me, because I don't get very excited when there's no pads on. The only thing I really look forward to is the cornerback watching receivers, because I don't care pads or no pads. I mean, that's a real competition right there for me with no pads. And there's been some, good things coming out of camp about the corners. But talk to me, Jake, what are you looking for in camp, especially the first week?
I think you pinned that down perfectly, Mike. Like the receiver and corner battles, they basically can't touch the receivers as it is. So when you see the one-on-ones and stuff like that, and they get, they still get physical, even though it is, just shells for the most part. But yeah, I really like looking at that, especially because I feel like corner and receiver are the two position groups that we have a lot of like, is this guy going to be a starter? Is he going to be on the team? He has some NFL experience, but will he make the roster because it's such a deep room, even though it's like, it's crazy to say deep room because it's like, they're not necessarily these household names, but they're guys that have been around and could make an NFL roster other places, but they might not necessarily make our roster. So, you look at the receivers especially, and I know we had two go down with injury either today, one today, and then I think yesterday too. So, I mean, it's interesting when you look at those battles and those matchups. And, I've heard some good things, obviously, from the cornerback side, specifically with my boy, Jamarcus Ingram, UB grad, guys out there balling right now. He wants to stay on this team. He wants people to remember, like, hey, I came in and filled in just as good as these other guys, and I can ball and I can play in the NFL. So you'd love to see it.
Yeah. So speaking of the injuries, let's talk about a few of those. I think that was Tyrell Shavers that you were talking about, 6'4", 211. Kid's been with us, this is at least his third season with us. And this was the year I'm thinking, I want this guy to make the roster. Every time he's gotten a chance, he's made plays. And that size, 6'4", 211, come on. He's got good speed. He went down with what looked to be pretty serious. They carted him off, but I'm hearing now it's not as serious as what people thought. Lower ankle sprain. So that's good news. And then Brett, kind of run down the injuries that you're aware of. I know somebody's mentioned Samuel. I know it was a hammy, typical Curtis Samuel injury. It seems every year. But Brett, what other injuries can you tell us about?
Yeah, Curtis Samuel having the hamstring injury. He's going to be out for a little bit. We did get some positive news on the other hand. Tight end Dawson Knox and Laviska Shenault were activated off of the NFL list. We do have Spencer Brown dealing with a back injury. That's something that's unfortunate. And we have a couple of other injuries as far as linebacker Dorian Williams dealing with a lower leg injury, AJ Epinesa also dealing with another injury, but he did return to practice today, which is probably something that's going to be a day-to-day situation. So we'll just see, and we'll have to monitor what's going on. A couple of other notes to add in here is that Taron Johnson and linebacker Terrell Bernard were out of practice with veteran days. So that's other notes for the injury news, because they do get reported on the injury report. And we'll see what happens, though. But I think they're being very cautious, the Bills are, about making sure that everybody stays healthy, especially with guys like Joey Bosa that are dealing with calf injuries. And they're just going to be cautious all the way up until the end of camp and get everybody back in football shape and ready to compete for Lombardi Trophy at the end of the year.
That's the one thing. I'm sorry, Mike. Sorry to cut you off.
You're
but that's
probably
the one
going to say
thing.
the same thing.
The load management thing has been so big with this Buffalo Bills regime over the last however many years since Sean McDermott's been here, really. So don't look too deep into these injuries and these veteran rest days. Like I think people overreact so much to this, even like Landon Jackson, that whole thing too. Like that kind of blew up, and you see these injuries on paper. They are legally responsible to list any type of ailment that these players actually have. So if they're sitting out, there needs to be a viable reason for them sitting out. So whether it's a vet rest day, or even if it's like, I don't know, you stubbed your toe, maybe you put something on there like, hey, he's sitting out because he has a little toe injury right now. Don't read too much into it. It's not the regular season yet. It's the first week of camp. People are going to get dinged up anyways. You're never fully healthy to begin with. So let's get that straight, So I think you got to just sit back, relax. Now, if there's a serious injury where, a notable player goes down and he gets carted off, maybe start to overreact a little bit, sure.
Right.
But when it's something like what it's been, outside of like Terrell Shavers, there really hasn't been anything too crazy, which is good.
Yeah, you hit on it. The news came out. Landon Jackson is on the PUP list before training camp, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, here we go!" And then it was revealed like he's ready for camp, and they activate him. I do think they've been taking it easy with him because, the guys that I listen to, the beat writers that I listen to for my news is the Buffalo Shout podcast. You got Matt and Ryan Talbot over there, and they'll answer you. Like I'm on their, what do they call it? Their text line or whatever. I get the news that they put out there. You can ask them. I was like, where's Landon Jackson? I haven't heard much about him. And they, I think it was Matt that Ryan that replied. He says, yeah, he's been a little quiet. But they really expect him to maybe turn on once the pads come on. But I think because he just came off the PUP list, obviously there was something bothering him. I think they've just been taking it easy. But Brett, you shared a video of him in that Bills outfit, and that dude just looks like a beast. I don't know where you were getting your content, but I'm just telling you right now, Landon Jackson is one of my favorite guys to watch this year. Definitely think that if he stays healthy, he's just going to be incredible. And that's a jersey I'm going to lock in on for sure. It's going to be a jersey. I don't get jerseys often, but LJ, because of how that all was manifested, because my son comes to me about LJ, I bring that up out of nowhere, and he gets drafted by the Bills. Great stuff. But Brett, let me ask you something real quick. What positions do you think is still looking for? It still has a battle going on as far as a starting position. What are those position groups?
That's a great question, Mike. I think obviously the one that comes to mind is the number 2 cornerback position between Maxwell Hairston and Tre'Davious White. And I think this battle is a lot tougher than people are saying. I think that everybody is assuming that it's going to be Maxwell Hairston that wins the battle. Tre'Davious White has looked incredible so far in camp. He's making plays. He's hungry. Bobby Babich, the defensive coordinator of the Buffalo Bills, came out and said that he's ready to go. He's making plays, and he's mentally there, and he's healthy again. That's the biggest thing, is for the first offseason in probably, 3-4 years, he's finally healthy, and he looks like the Tre'Davious White that we once had, 9 years ago. I wouldn't say give him the same credit that he's back to 100%, but I'm telling you that this kid is going to be hungry. He's ready to go, and he's not going to give this job to Maxwell Hairston, the newcomer, the guy that he once was 9 seasons ago, the first-round pick. it's going to be incredible to watch and see what happens here. And then there's some other battles. I mean, I know Jake's going to probably have a few off the top of his head that he's looking forward to, but I'm going to say one that comes to mind that he probably won't say: the number 3 tight end battle between Jackson Hawes and Zach Davidson. That's another battle that you have to keep your eyes on. I know obviously most people are going to say that it's going to be Jackson Hawes that's going to win that job just because of his blocking ability, but don't be surprised if Zach Davidson gets the call there.
Interesting. Good stuff there. Yeah, Jake, what do you think about this this Trey White and Maxwell Hairston? It going to be, years ago when we had Kyer Elam, it was like a shock when he didn't start. Of course, we're happy now. Christian Benford became a very good cornerback, and you can understand why he got the start over Kyer. But how are you going to feel if Hairston's not starting that game one?
I guess not overly surprised. There were some concerns with Hairston just not being fully NFL ready. Like, he has the athleticism. I think he has the tenacity, but he missed some games in college. And, there were some things where he's very raw, and I think overall you look at who he is as a player, he's going to develop into that first round pick that he is. I don't think this is going to be a Kyer Elam situation, but he's in the best possible situation, being able to learn from Trey White, a guy that's been there, done that. And they seem to have very good rapport. I mean, every single time they jog off the field, I read this somewhere, basically they're slapping hands, slapping asses, doing that whole thing, right? So that they're tight, and to learn from a guy like that is great. So I want him to be able to compete. I want Trey to push him to his limit here so he can compete and actually earn that starting job. So if he's not starting week 1 and Trey White is, I don't think you look at that as like a bad sign or anything. I mean, obviously, you want your first-round pick to start and get meaningful snaps as soon as possible. But at the same time, if Trey White's doing his thing and he looks like the Trey White he looked like before he tore his Achilles 2 years ago, that's not a bad problem to have either. Trey White can play. He can still play football. He looked good towards the end of the year last year. And I'm not saying he's the long-term solution. The long-term solution is Maxwell Hairston. And it actually might even be Dorian Strong, if we're being real. I love what Trey says here. Out of any corner we took this year, I think Dorian Strong is actually the most NFL ready. And what a steal he was in the 4th round. So absolutely love to see, or 6th round. I'm sorry. It was 6th round, right? For Dorian Strong. Crazy.
We love these rounders.
And the way that Christian Benford has pretty much mentored Dorian Strong throughout training camp, that's incredible to watch. This is the first time in probably 6-7 years that I can say that this cornerback room is deep. I mean, you look at the guys that we have. We didn't even talk about Dane Jackson yet. That's on the roster. You have Marcus Ingram. You have Cam Lewis still on the roster. This is deep, and you're not even including Brandon Codrington, who is the kick returner here. There's a lot of big names on this roster, and there's going to be some surprises that don't make this team and that could go to another organization and have an impact and probably be a number 3, number 4 cornerback on their team.
Jake, tell me a little bit more about Dorian Strong, because I don't know a lot about him. Why does he look? Why does Trey feel, or you feel, that he is NFL ready? What program did he work under?
He was with Vodtech, and what was super impressive about him is just the fact that he's such a good tackler. He takes great angles. I think that's one thing with him, is he never gets beat. Great pursuit angles. That's kind of what he's known for. He can play up at the line of scrimmage. He played outside. He can play inside. I think he's going to definitely play outside in the NFL. It looks like he'll probably be Christian Benford's backup right now to start, but there is a chance that he'll be getting in the rotation a little bit. I mean, he is that good. I just think, there were some things that he was almost too aggressive at times at Vodtech, and some scouts got a little scared of that. But I mean, he's got great size, Mike. He's like 6'1", almost 200 pounds. I mean, he's right there, so yeah, I'm a big fan of him. And honestly, at first it was interesting that he went so late in the 6th round, because there were some projections going into draft season that had him mocked in like the 2nd or 3rd round even. And then he sort of dropped a little bit. And it's not even that he tested that poorly or anything. I think, it's just, it's interesting. I think it's a total steal in the 6th round. Let's just put it at that. I think it's going to be special.
Did I thought draft or after draft, people talking about him potentially being a safety?
He's got the size to do it. So you're thinking of Jordan Hancock, the kid from Ohio State. So he actually, I think, officially converted to safety technically. He's been playing most of his reps there, but he can also play in the nickel as well.
All right, awesome. Weston, no, cut Cam. You and Trek Review. Let me just tell you. So I listened to the Buffalo Shout. Those are guys I get my insiders information from. And Cam Lewis is having a great first week. And we just talked about it earlier in the show. If you're looking at positions that can kind of really get some work without pads, it's the corners, it's the safeties going against receivers and tight ends. And Cam Lewis has been shining. Of course, he's also great on special teams. I don't know how you get rid of that, man. I think we got prime Cam Lewis this year. Prime. He's at his peak.
Love it.
Watch out. Brett, sorry, let me throw it back to you, buddy. Well, we talked about the cornerback position. What other position group do you think there's a battle at?
Yeah, for starting wise, I mean, I really can't say that there's another option. Probably safety. I mean, that's probably the other one that I would say is DeMar Hamlin and Cole Bishop. But I think that this battle is already won. I think that Cole Bishop has the upper hand here, and he looks like a defensive leader and somebody that's going to be around in Buffalo for probably another 10, 15 years. He's very vocal out there on the field, and he's going to be a ball hawk. I'm going to tell you that right now. I can just sense it from what I'm gathering from other channels that are talking about him too. He's ready to go. I mean, he's going to make a big impact, and it'll be a lot of fun to see him out there on the field. But there's some battles that for backup positions, the defensive end between Javon Solomon and some of the other defensive ends that are on the roster too. Jake can probably point them in the right direction of who's out there. But guys that are they're not necessarily competing for a starting role or a roster role, but guys like Michael Hoyt, Larry Ogunjobi that are going to be suspended for the first 6 weeks of the season, they're still competing, in my opinion, for a roster spot. Because if Buffalo feels like they have the 5 guys on the roster at the defensive end position that are better than them, I could easily see them letting them go. Even though Ogunjobi does have a fully guaranteed contract, I could see Michael Hoyt being somebody that would be a surprising cut or trade candidate.
Yeah, I
see that.
I think defensive end, Jake, talk about that because, Epinesa, is he a lock to be the starter? I don't think so. You got Solomon, you got Jackson. I mean, talk to me. Then you got Hoyt. Who's going to be that starter? I think that's a position right there that's very interesting to me. But what's your thoughts on that?
I wanted to talk about this a little bit earlier on, and I'm glad this thought came back up because, in my opinion, you look at our defensive end room in general, we have some incredible athletes in that room. I mean, you talk about Landon Jackson, you talk about Javon Solomon, who is a freak. AJ Epinesa, maybe one of the quickest first steps in football. I mean, we got some dogs there. Greg Rousseau is a freak of nature himself, too. So it's like, this is going to be a really interesting battle. You look at that right defensive end position specifically. I think, obviously, if Bosa is healthy and able to go, he's going to be the guy. But behind him, I mean, you got Epinesa, you got Landon Jackson, you got Javon Solomon. We signed Casey Rogers as well from the Giants, Marcus Harris, and then Paris Hand as well. Or Paris Shand, I'm sorry. Paris Shand is another name, too. So, you got some players there. And Paris Shand, that's a guy that is an interesting undrafted free agent that actually signed with us. And I think he has a chance to actually play in this league. I love his size, 6'4", 270-ish. Just a big body dude and a really good athlete as well. So, yeah, it's going to be a good battle for sure. And, you're going to see some names out there that get cut and they're going to be picked up by another team, not just the practice squad. So, yeah.
Shame on me for forgetting about Bosa. I mean, so Bosa is your starter, obviously. He's a lock there, right? So shame on me.
It'll be him and Groot, but
you're so right, Jake. I mean, the defensive ends that we got, oh my goodness, the depth, because, let's face it, Bosa's not been the healthiest over his whole career, honestly, except for earlier in the career. But to have that depth, it's fantastic. And, the Bills love to rotate in. And again, I can't wait to see Solomon. What's this? Solomon's second year, right? This year?
Yep.
And you got Landon Jackson, who I'm already calling it right now. He'll have 6 sacks this year easily. 6 sacks, maybe more.
I love that, Mike. I'm here
Come
for
on. It. He'll be the first end that you ever see leap an offensive tackle. He'll do a Josh Allen leap over the offensive tackle and get a sack. I mean, his vertical was insane. One of the highest verticals since what was the gentleman's name there on the Cleveland Browns?
Oh, Myles Garrett. Yeah.
Yeah. So dude's got insane athleticism. So watch out. Deion Walker is a freak of nature. Been hearing good things about him for sure. Again, it's hard for me to hear, oh, Walker made a great play chasing down the run. I'm like, I don't get excited when I hear the D lineman or beating somebody because there's no pads, and how hard are they really going?
And not only that, Mike. I mean, you have so many players that are being rotated into the lineup, and you're seeing guys like TJ Sanders and players like that are coming in and rotating on the defensive side. But the offensive line has been injured too. You don't have Spencer Brown out there too.
Yeah.
That's very
So
true.
I'm trying to fit you in there, Cody. Give me a little bit while Jake talks. So get you.
I'm trying to think of a comp. Actually, it's funny now. I'm trying to rack my brain here, trying to think of a comp for this defensive end unit to another unit in the past. I don't know why, but and you're not going to be excited to hear this, but I think in terms of the athleticism and the pedigree and the potential, it kind of reminds me of those mid 2000s Cleveland Browns DNs that were really good. And listen, Courtney Brown was the first overall pick. Yes, he was a bust, but he was supposed to be something really special. Ebenezer Ekubon, Kennard Lang. These are names you guys probably have no idea who they are, but go back, look at the history. I mean, you talk 04, I think they had multiple guys that had 8 sacks in a season. I think that's very doable with this defensive end unit. So I don't know why it's in my mind, but yeah.
Go back to 2015 with the Buffalo Bills when we had Mario Williams, Jerry Hughes.
That's a better comp, Brett. Thank you.
Yeah,
so much
Kyle Williams there. Right there, you look at those guys. That's what this Bills defensive line could be. But the only difference is you had 4 guys that were doing it on the defensive line. We have a rotation of guys that can easily get to the 50 sacks that we had in 2015. I think that this is a unit that you could easily see Joey Bosa coming back into form and having easily 12, 15 sacks. I mean, that's the way they could be. But this is a deep unit. They're very tough. And I think that whoever is going one-on-one between Rousseau and Ed Oliver and now Joey Bosa, you have to fear somebody in those 3. And don't be surprised Daquan Jones is going to have a good season. Mark my words on that. He's not going to be double-teamed throughout the whole entire season. We're in the middle because you have to defend 4 defensive linemen on this Buffalo Bills roster now.
There we go. Thank you guys for
good layout there, Mike. I like it.
A little airtime for me.
Trial and error.
Cody, you're on. Yeah, there you go. How you doing, buddy? We got a little static. We got a little problem with the microphone, sir. You know, you got to mute yourself, unplug. You're usually good. But good stuff there, guys. So I love, like I said, I've been telling people, when they talk to me, how your Bills do. These are non-Bills fans, but they know I love the Bills, and they're asking me, what do you think of your Bills this year? I'm like, this defense is going to be something special. Our defense is usually pretty good anyway, but they're going to be super special.
Hey, he was a good player, Trek. You go look back. He had a couple 8 sacks. He got paid too, Kennard Lang. Great name. Great name. Look it up. Kennard Lang. That's your homework for tonight. Go look up Kennard Lang.
Jake, how about one of the battles that's already been won in training camp? The punter position. Brad Robbins.
I am so glad. Yes. Sadly, there's nothing more you like to see than a good old-fashioned punter competition. And, I mean, they cut Jake Camarda before camp basically even started. It's like they didn't even get a shot out there. I mean, I know he was on the roster during minicamp and all that, but didn't even have a chance. I mean, Brad Robbins, I hope he's the guy. That's all I got to say.
I like that they let him go early on in training camp because it gives him an opportunity to go to another team and fight for a starting position, because maybe he wasn't going to make – I mean, obviously he wasn't going to make the roster for the Buffalo Bills. So now he has an opportunity to go somewhere else, compete for his starting job, and maybe he wins the job and is the starting punter for somebody else.
No, you're right. That's true. Yeah. I mean, it allows him to develop some camaraderie. By the way, and Cody, I'll let you talk right after this, but I just thought of this too. My cousin Nate, shout out to Nate Geary. He is on WGR. He had a little spat with Reed Ferguson, and I was just enlightened about this. And he posted to his story because I guess he was going back and forth with Reed. This has been years in the making, guys. Basically saying, I know for a fact You can snap to me. I can hold it, laces out, and Tyler Bass will make a field goal. So Reed challenged him. He said, all right, Gary, you're on. I'll meet you at training camp. So Nate went up there today.
Get out.
Reed snapped to him. He held it. Tyler Bass did not kick a field goal, but he successfully held it. Now, that is an art in itself. So I got to give credit where credit's due. Shout out to my cousin Nate. That's pretty good stuff right there. You love to see it.
That's incredible. Is there any footage of that?
There is. It's on his Instagram story. I know that. And I'm sorry I don't have the video here. But if you go to his Instagram, I think on Twitter too, he might have posted it. So it's on there.
So what a neat. I know the two guys that typically I see show up on my feed are not Nate. There are two other guys that talk about the Bills. What does Nate do? So he got a show on there as well, or
Nate is the actual. He does the post game show for the Buffalo Bills, and he fills in every once in a while on WGR. That's not like his actual main job, believe it or not. It's one of like 3 jobs that he does. But
gotcha.
Yeah, yep.
Good stuff, Cody. Let's try it out again, sir.
All right, let's see if we're any better.
Oh, that's a lot better.
There it is. He's back, baby.
Have to unplug it and plug it back in every single time.
Every time.
Old IT check.
How you doing, buddy?
Oh, doing fantastic. I mean, my X timeline is now filled back up. I get to refresh it every like 2 minutes, and there's another 10 posts about just random training camp highlights. It's one of the best times of the year, but it's also one of the most times of the year where like I get personally a little bit ticked off whenever everybody's like, oh my gosh, he's moving so much better in shorts and shells as a running back than this other running back. And I'm just like, how can you tell? How can you tell that he would have broken this for a 40-yard touchdown? Like,
right.
Come on. So you got to take the wins with where they are. Football's back in at least some way, and it's beautiful. But glad to be on again. It's been a while, so good to see y'all.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, Cody. So I asked the other guys, but what are you looking for? I know you're a Texans fan, but we love having you on here because you just talk football. You're kind of like Jake. You've done a lot of you do a fantasy football show, and you put out a lot of good data. First of all, tell folks where they can find you and get that data from you.
Yeah, right now we're over at the started actually dropping my own content again for the first time in probably a year and a half or so. It's the fantasy draft room. Right now we're going through 2025 projections. So I have every single team that I'm going through currently right now. I think we're like halfway through as of today, but basically doing projections it is used for fantasy, but it's just offensive projections for every single team at quarterback, 4 running backs, 7 wide receivers, and 4 tight ends, putting down every single stat for passing attempts, carries, yards, touchdowns, everything. And then it goes into a rankings thing. It's all in a Google sheet, but I decided to try to do it for a YouTube show this year. So it's a lot of numbers being thrown at you in a very short amount of time, but it's going all right, I guess. So if you want to check that out or have access to the sheet, it's completely free. Just DM me or something, or click the link on one of the YouTube videos.
Yeah, Cody, just send me that link, Cody, so I can add it to the description of the show.
Yeah, we'll do.
But yeah, this stuff's amazing.
I think Mike mostly wants it because he's struggling in fantasy football. He hasn't won it over the past 6-7 years since we've known each other. So he needs some all the help he can get.
But definitely in the drought.
He drafts all the Buffalo Bills players, and it goes downhill from there.
Cody, so I asked the other two guys the same question. You're a Texans fan. Does that week 1 of camp excite you? And if so, what are you looking for? I mean, other than let's avoid injuries, but is there anything you're kind of interested in, like for the Texans this year? Anything that's really excites you for that first week?
Yeah, it's a lot of shorts and shells, just kind of more walkthrough work, and people are probably going to take away more takeaways than there actually are in reality. But we have to over dissect everything, right? So Texans, at least though, we've got a really interesting wide receiver 3 battle, kind of with Jaden Higgins and Jalen Noel.
Joe Noel.
The other one from Iowa State, also linking up with Xavier Hutchinson from Iowa State. So we've got 3 Iowa State kids in the wide receiver room, which is pretty cool to see where all of those shake out. And then it's for the Texans, it's offensive line. They're playing they've probably got like 15 guys in camp, and any one of them could have a starting role or not have a starting role. So we'll see how that shakes out. And then we got a new offensive coordinator with Nick Caley coming in to replace Bobby Slowick after he was almost a head coaching candidate one year and then fired the next year, and now a passing game coordinator for the Miami Dolphins. So a lot of change on the offensive side of the ball. The defensive side of the ball, though, they're locked down. I mean, that's going to be one of the best defensive units in football this year.
right behind the Buffalo Bills.
Exactly.
Right behind the Bills. Steve, did you see this thing take place with Nate and Ferguson? Like you said,
It's all over.
nailed
It's
it. Oh,
unbelievable.
So it's out there.
Yeah. Oh, it's out there. Yeah.
Oh, we got to get this and bring it up. That's fantastic.
It's pretty good stuff. Yeah.
Jake,
yeah.
you're being challenged by Trek on another trivia question.
Man.
And hopefully you didn't see this and cheat a little bit, but for Jake's next trick, he will give us the name of the third string quarterback for the 1968 Chicago Bears.
Yeah, I mean, I think Bobby Douglas was on that, or maybe I don't know if it was Bobby Douglas years, but I could tell you this: Bobby Douglas, shout out to him. He was the starting quarterback for the Bears at one point. Not much of a passer, a great runner. Held the rushing record for quarterbacks until Michael Vick finally broke it in like 2006. I think Bobby Douglas had like 968 yards rushing in a season. So hell of a stat line. I want to say that was in the 72 season, though, that he did that. I don't know if he was in the league in 68. He was definitely late 60s when he came in. The other name that comes to mind, and this is only because I was looking at stats not too long ago, Virgil Carter. I think Virgil Carter might be a name, but I think he started. So
all right.
You might have got me there, Trek.
Douglas.
Okay, so Douglas wasn't on the team yet. All right.
All right, Trek will let
Not
us
bad.
know. By the way, I want to share some news from like another good reason to get on the Discord. Cody's there, Brett's there, Jake's there. We got Weston. Weston is maybe the best reporter that you could have. That guy is posting stuff 24/7 in our Discord about everything Bills related. He's a KC fan, but we love him. And there's a KC thread there for you folks that want to join. But yeah, he's posting stuff all day long, whether it's a conspiracy theory, whether it's Buffalo Bills, whether it's Chiefs, whether it's a Dolphins. So another good reason to be in the Discord. And then you got Trey. Trey's right up there. He's probably the second most active guy in the Discord. And he said his report was Keon really improving at camp each day. We've heard a lot of good news about Keon Coleman. He hasn't heard one positive thing about Cole Bishop yet. So been a little quiet there. I feel like you've only really heard mostly about, no, I've heard some good stuff about Cam Lewis, but and Rap. But it just might be because we're still early into that, Trey. And then he says Halls has been fantastic in the run game. Bass, I feel like every training camp, Bass has a day where he has a rough day. He was 4 of 8 in one of these prior days. And then Dorian Strong showing great play and working after practice every day. We talked about him already. So again, good stuff there from the Discord channel. Click the link. It's free. Promise you that. A lot of good people there. All right. So anyone else you want to talk about in camp, Jake, or let me throw it to you, Brett, that you want to talk about that you've been hearing stuff?
Well, I want to pose a question to Cody, because there's some major news that's going on with the Houston Texans and his running back room right now. You have Joe Mixon that is injured, and now you have Nick Chubb coming back from a knee injury. I want to know a little bit more about the battle in the running back room for your Texans before we talk about the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, so it's interesting with Joe Mixon. So it sounds like everything is still kind of stemming from whenever he had his ankle rolled up on 2 times last year, one on a hip drop tackle that put him out for a little while, and then apparently has re-injured it. Our fantasy, I was trying to pull it up here as you're going through it. I'll see if I can find it after or while I'm talking. But the one of our fantasy injury doctor experts, which you know how Twitter doctors are, but this one I actually trust. He said that there's more than likely a ligament injury in the foot/ankle that has been kind of re-injured, and it sounds like it's been re-injured multiple times over the course of the offseason. And it was always the plan for Joe Mixon. He doesn't play in any preseason games anyway, but it was always the plan to kind of ease him into training camp. But then now the verbiage has changed where it's ease him into training camp to now he might be ready for week 1. And that's very different language coming out from the team. So Nick Chubb, by all accounts, is taking over as the RB1 currently in camp. There's been reports that he looks slow and not like former Nick Chubb, which it's hard to get back to former Nick Chubb after the knee injury that he had. But again, it's shorts and shells. Wait till the pads come on, and I'll actually make some determinations on that. You also have the rookie that they traded for out of USC, Woody Marks, traded a future third for, which I was not really liking the move, but it might work out better now. But I think he's still more of just a pass catching back. Damian Pierce is still on PUP as well. And then you've just got spell guys like Dario Gumbawale, JJ Taylor behind him. Now, Dario Gumbawale.
I was going to say, put some respect on that name. Come on now, Code.
But he is a special teams player. He's awesome, and I love him. But he's a special teams player and our backup kicker if ever need be. But it'll be interesting. So I think as of right now, I'm not panicking on Nick Chubb like a lot of people are. I've seen people compare this to like the end of his career, and it's almost like an ACL injury that's going to knock him out for the year, which is seemingly ridiculous. But I do think he has a high re-injury upside risk. Hopefully at this point he'll be ready for week 1. But I do think right now it'll be Nick Chubb, and then we'll see if Damian Pierce even makes this team. If he's not playing in PUP, or he's on PUP right now, not in training camp, and then you have him. I mean, he was a good special teamer as a returner last year, so I think that might give him the spot. But I think it could be a lot of Nick Chubb and Woody Marks this year in the passing game if Joe Mixon isn't healthy.
We got Trey coming in with a question for you. Cody, let me read it so folks that are maybe not able to watch the screen or listen to this. Trey says, Cody, question for you. I know fantasy Twitter was all over Keon's terrible first day. Improved each day to be the star of day 4. What do you project Keon's realistic outlook is for the season?
Yeah, let me pull up the actual projections right now for it. So I have Khalil Shakira as the leading wide receiver in terms of targets with 116 targets. I have Keon Coleman going for 89 targets, 49 catches, 837 yards, and 4 touchdowns is where I currently have him at.
I'm all right with that.
I don't like the 4 touchdowns.
Baby.
Guy that big, you think he's in that red zone. He should be able to take advantage of it. But I love it. How many yards did you say? 800?
837. I have Khalil with 1,071.
Right.
Yeah. How many catches?
For Khalil is 90 catches. I mean, his catch rate is just absolutely insane. 116 targets and 90 catches is a ridiculous number. But he's shown it for the past however long he's been in the league now, 3 years, 4 years now.
Yep.
Whichever one it is. But his catch rate is legitimately almost record setting for the NFL if he continues at this pace.
It's crazy, man.
Let's go.
I want to ask you quick too, Cody. You're secondary, dude. What do you guys? So is Petrie going to move to like nickel? What are you guys going? Because you got CJ Gardner-Johnson.
Yeah.
And then you have Kalen Bullock, who's a stud.
Yeah.
You got Lassiter playing corner, and then Stingley on the other side. That's a loaded room, dude. That is insane.
It's an insanely disgusting DB room. So I would assume it's Bullock and lockdown Lassie on the back in the safety positions, CJGJ and Stingley on the cornerback, and then Petrie's been playing nickel for us primarily for the past couple of years anyway. So he'll be nickel, and it's combine that with then the edge group that we have with those 2 monsters up there. I mean, there's a little bit of weakness with the linebacker and the interior, but it's going to be one of the best defenses in the league. I'm absolutely stoked for. I mean, the fact that I know they had to trade CJGJ from the Eagles because they weren't going to pay him or whatever, but to get Kenyon Green in return for CJGJ is a ridiculous trade.
Crazy, man. Yeah.
All right. So is there anyone we missed talking about camp? I mean, pads are supposed to go on Monday. Anyone else before we move on to the next topic?
You did. So I know, Brett, you mentioned the safety battle is pretty much wrapped up. You think it's going to be Taylor Rapp and Cole Bishop. Now, as much as I love Cole Bishop, I haven't heard a whole lot about what's going on. And that could be good or bad. And I really do hope those 2 are the starters. But we did sign this kid, Derek Forrest, who I really like and I'm very high on. And I think the fact that he's so young still, and he's already had a great year under his belt, basically coming in playing with Washington a couple of years ago. He had like 88 tackles, 4 interceptions, showed that he could play up at the line of scrimmage. He can cover. He can do a little bit of everything. I like this kid's upside. I think he will be a rotational piece, and I don't want him to go and fly under the radar because I do, I guess, but not on our show. You know what I mean? Like, I think this guy is legit and people need to know his name because I'm a big fan of Derek Forrest.
Yeah, I'm going to throw out. I'll throw out a name out there that, I've heard rumors that he's having a good camp is, we talked about Dorian Strong, but I've heard pretty much that the obvious Christian Benford is having a good camp. Let's talk about the offensive line. Okay. Kendrick Green for the Buffalo Bills. We don't give enough love to the offensive line. Kendrick Green's having a good camp from what I've heard. Aaron Cromer's working with the unit. He's making things happen. But I think that this could be a really interesting battle for who's the backup of the offensive guard position. And you have Alec Anderson, you have Kendrick Green. It's going to be interesting to see who gets the nod there.
Code knows a little bit about Kendrick Green. Can you tell us a little bit about him?
I mean, definitely better of the greens than Kenyon Green. So I will certainly take any improvement there. I think both of them were playing well whenever they were at A&M, obviously, to get drafted where they did. So I'd be excited for him. I don't know exactly what role he's going to play with that offensive line that y'all got with the continuity that you have there, but definitely an interesting player who I would certainly love to have on the team. And again, just anything above Kenyon.
Cody, we're gonna have to get you on to do a fantasy show for us. We actually have a couple guys that usually do it. I don't know. Got to check in with them. They've been a little quiet, but be fantastic. But so we got to get you on, do a show with you. Cody, how high are you drafting Drake May in fantasy football?
Definitely not as high as everybody else. So interestingly, I think he came in as my quarterback 17 in projections, which a big difference of projections versus rankings. Like it doesn't encapsulate fully the upside that they can potentially have, right? So if you're taking from last year's stats, trying to implement it on this year and what it looks like, the high end ceiling outcome is just not going to be realized. So like people are taking, I don't know where he is in redraft, but like Dynasty, he's put up as like a quarterback 7 or 8 in Dynasty, just because of the upside that he has and with his legs and everything. The thing that draws me back from Drake May, and he's already said he doesn't really want to use his legs as much as he did last year, more of just as a last resort. His yards per rush last year, when he put up, people are putting him up at like 600 projected rushing yards this season. And it's because last year he was incredibly efficient in that portion of the field. He had the highest rushing yards per attempt over a season of qualified rushers since Michael Vick.
Ooh.
And he was tied with Michael Vick. And the only one that was above that tied season was Michael Vick again, as the one higher than him over the past like 30, 40 years in the league.
Damn.
So you bring that number back down to a more realistic outcome number, and he really only has probably like 350, more of like a Justin Herbert style rushing number to him. And his total production in terms of fantasy just goes down to a point that I'm not comfortable drafting him where he is.
All right. Lots of stuff, lots of fantasy football questions. Love it. And good news, Cody's in our Discord. Come on over to Discord and ask him all day long fantasy football questions.
Anytime. I do have a couple of deep dive ones for y'all in terms of just the Buffalo Bills. One, I don't know if you saw this one, Jake. I threw it in the Discord as well. But Reggie Gilliam apparently being used all over the field in certain situations and kind of like that specialty role. I'm wondering, with the unfortunate loss of Quentin Morris, one of our other favorites on this team, could Reggie Gilliam kind of serve as that kind of like specialty kind of like almost trick play kind of guy, gadget role guy that fills into the roles of a Quentin Morris?
This is like Mike Sellers back in the day when he played with the Washington R-Words. Okay. Like very similar style of play, tight end / fullback hybrid, Mac guy too. It makes sense. Quentin Morris, Bowling Green, Reggie Gilliam, Toledo. I love where your head's at right now, Code. And I'll tell you what, I have seen some of that. I don't want to get my hopes up too high because I feel like when he's in the game, he makes an impact one way or the other. For the most part, it's usually in a good way. You know, whether it's a lead block, catching a 1-yard touchdown pass, you know, laying someone out on kickoff. So I hope that's the case. He's one of the few fullbacks left here in the NFL. And by the way, your Texans, you guys got a little battle going at the fullback position. Jakob Johnson and who's the other kid? Brooks British or whatever, something like that.
British Brooks, yeah.
British Brooks. Thank you. That's bad that I didn't know his full name because I'm a fullback guy. But there we go.
Was there another guy, Cody?
The other one that I had was, have y'all heard anything? I know the tight end battle, at least with Kincaid and Dawson Knox being activated off of PUP, I believe today. So good to see those two guys back in. But has there been any buzz on like a Jackson Hawes as one of the draft picks coming in this year? Has he gotten any more of the work with Dawson Knox being out? looking at him in those deep tight end waters.
He's going to be primarily used as a run blocker, I feel like, but he might sneak out and be like, hey, Mike, we talked about him last couple weeks ago. Our guy Butch Roll, right? Just catching touchdown passes, nothing else, right?
Yep.
So maybe that's his role, right? We'll see.
Well, he has to beat out who's the other guy we have at third string?
Zach Davidson.
Davidson. And
We
I
got some
like,
other guys
Davidson.
too, but yeah, I do too. Yeah.
Kaliki Latu.
Yes, Kaliki Latu. That's right. Yep. There's another kid too, Matt Sokol. Yeah.
Right.
Kaliki Latu. Yes. Didn't he get hurt though? I thought there was an injury with him. Maybe not. Could be wrong.
All right. Well, I think we talked about camp. More stuff to come next week. We'll kind of recap it at the end of next week. I want to get into, by the way, some other news. Obviously, the Red Helmets are back. The Red Helmets are only back for one game. That's the end of the last game of the year this season, which is fantastic. It's kind of funny to me. I saw these podcasters just making shows, 3 of them. First they were giving us a take on a different color, then they went to the red. I mean, it's just funny how many shows that they were able to live off of just talking about this helmet. With the helmet, red one's back, it's fantastic. Joe Ferguson wore those red helmets. Those 90 teams wore those red helmets. They're beautiful. So you get that to look forward to. The other big thing to look forward to is the Nike rivalry jersey, which is supposed to be debuted on August 28th is what I'm reading. I've seen different sketches of this thing. I don't know which one's the truth. I've seen one that actually had Nickel City on the jersey itself. And if that's the case, we're gonna have to look at some copyright
trademark
issues there, right? But that'll be, if there is a Nickel City jersey, we're gonna be getting some and giving them away. Absolutely. I mean, we have to. It's meant for our channel. But I've seen some other sketches or pictures, and it looks amazing. So anyhow, I've seen some where it was mostly silver that had the Nickel City on it, and I've seen some others with blue on it. Blue in different places, white and blue, just look really good. I don't know if any of you have a picture you can pull up and share. That'd be cool. But so there's that. But I wanted to get into Hard Knocks. Hard Knocks debuts August 5th, and I won't lie, I have never watched a Hard Knocks. You can be guaranteed I'm going to be watching Hard Knocks with the Bills. But Jake, tell me what I'm in for. What am I in for? Is this something you are concerned about distracting the Bills on their mission this year? But what can we expect?
Well, we're about to be the first Super Bowl winning team that's been featured on Hard Knocks. So there you go. No, it is really cool. I mean, it's exciting because you kind of get an inside look that you wouldn't normally get. It's full inside access. And I know Josh even jokingly said, he's like, yeah, I just got to make sure, what I say is, age appropriate. And it's for my mom, because I know she'll be watching. So yeah, it's going to be, it'll be fun. It'll be fun to watch. I'm excited to just kind of get that inside look. And I know a lot of people say it's a distraction. These guys are pros. I mean, I think, and this is what I've been hearing, and I don't know if it's just for the camera. Sounds to me like this is the most locked in team we've had ever in this regime. So, if that's the case, so be it. Maybe if they're just doing it for the cameras, even better, because maybe it makes them a little more self-conscious. Be like, hey, we got to make sure our stuff is right. We got to put ourselves out in the right light. So I'm here for that.
Do the producers, Brett, you've watched the show before, right?
Yeah.
And Cody, I'm sure you have too. The producers, I mean, everything's about drama these days. Any show you watch, are they going to introduce some drama of some sort? Does that happen on these shows? Or kind of walk me through, again, you kind of hit on it a little bit, Jake, but I'm looking for a little bit more. Are they going to just make up some drama, or is there typical drama in these things?
Oh yeah, there's typical drama on this. I mean, they're probably going to make a big deal out of the James Cook contract situation, but Dan Mitchell had him on, or his agent on his channel, and it sounds pretty optimistic that there might be a contract coming for the Bills and James Cook. Don't quote me on this. Obviously, I'm not somebody that's going to spread rumors and say that James Cook has a contract with the Buffalo Bills and that it's coming. I don't know. I'm not in the building, guys. I'm 1,200 miles away covering the Buffalo Bills in Florida. Okay, so I don't know. but it sounds like there's some optimism that there could be a contract that's coming for the Buffalo Bills. There's going to be some drama around the whole entire team. You're going to have some issues and stuff like that, but it's fun. It's great to watch, and I've seen them cover pretty much Tre'Davious White and Deion Dawkins, two guys that are big figures and have a good personality on the team. So you know that there's going to be some great content that you have for them. I've also seen the cameras following Matt Milano and Terrell Bernard. So I can't wait to see this. You have some goofy guys on the team all the way around with Josh. And, I mentioned Deion and Tre'Davious White, but I can't wait for this to come out to see the Buffalo Bills and to get a real view of what goes on behind the scenes, from a football perspective. We're guys that are just, pretty much Forge and Mokes that are on the show that we played some type of football in our lives, but to see it from a different perspective that most people that are amateur athletes get to watch is incredible.
Do they show guys getting cut? Do they show them coming into the office and being released?
Yeah, they show that.
That's got to be difficult.
So the first year that I watched it was the year that they had the Dallas Cowboys on there, and it was with Terrell Owens and Marion Barber and Pac-Man Jones, bringing back some names there. Tony Romo was on it. I mean, they had the limelight and everything, and they're making it so dramatic. Nowadays, it's not as dramatic. I remember last year when they covered the New York Giants, it wasn't like that necessarily. But, I mean, obviously they're going to make something out of it. The media will. But I think the Buffalo Bills, they're a strong team. They know how to hide the media. They know how to be a small market team, and they're from the top down with Sean McDermott at the helm. They'll make everything work out, and they'll squash the beef, and everything will be fine.
They're going to show some of the brawls that take place. That's
yeah.
that's their drama right there. They're going to show some of those, right?
Do y'all have any of the joint practices? Like those are always some of the brawls that happen in that one will definitely show up.
For sure.
I like what Big L's saying here.
I think it's with the I want to say it's with the Chicago Bears this year that we have joint practices.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah.
It's usually
my favorite Hard Knocks moment. So one of the big things, Mike, they always highlight the position battles, and cut day is like a big deal. And I remember watching the Chiefs in Hard Knocks, and Casey Printers was battling for a job. Here's a great name for you, Casey Printers. One of the best quotes ever on Hard Knocks. Casey Printers, like at the very start of it, said, "Look, I've done all I can. What more do I need to do?" He's like, you think you'd have to like make chicken salad out of chicken shit. So then he gets cut. It's the day of the cut. And the coach comes in and he says, "Coach, what more did I need to do?" He's like, "Honestly, Case, you had to make chicken salad out of chicken shit." And he just didn't do it. And that stuck with me. That was one of my favorite Hard Knocks moments. It sucks because it was a guy getting cut, but it's so damn true. It's like, even though they always find this like fan favorite, this guy that you follow, and then it ends in like some type of heartbreak. Or then you see the other side where it's like the guy that really grinds it out. Like I remember the one year with the Jets, trying to think of who it was. He made the roster. Actually took the kick back for a touchdown against the Bills opening week one.
Xavier Gibson.
Thank you, Xavier Gibson. Yes. So there's moments like that, right? So there's the good moments, the bad moments, but those are the things that they really hone in on. So you always find that fan favorite player, and you're following him through in and throughout. So if it was a few years back, it would have been probably Christian Wade, running back out of England there that we signed, the rugby player.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm definitely very excited to watch it. Can't believe my first time watching Hard Knocks. I think I might have caught some episodes when I was really bored, but now the Bills are on it, so you can rest assured I'll be catching that every week. Just some other NFL news to close this out. We can go around the horn here. I'll give you a couple here. Kyer Elam had a big interception at camp against Dak Prescott. So watch out for Kyer Elam. I'm still wishing the best for that young man. And then let's see here. Chargers signing LT Slater to record 4-year, $114 million contract extension. And then who was that really good defensive tackle that got released this past week?
Christian Wilkins.
Christian Wilkinson, right?
Yeah.
My goodness, that's a shock, right? I mean, that dude was a stud.
There's a lot of drama behind that. There's he supposedly he had an issue with one of his teammates, some type of issue. But I mean, he's the guy that's most known for grabbing the genitalia area of Josh Allen during games when he was with the Miami Dolphins. So allegedly, let's say that. So that way we don't get any issues with YouTube and everything. So yeah, we don't want lawyers in here and everything. But yeah, there's been some rumors that are going around. But I mean, obviously, I say innocent until proven guilty. I mean, that's the case. And here we judge so hard on different subjects. And remember back a couple of years when we judged on Matt Ariza for the Buffalo Bills, and look how that turned out.
Oh yeah.
I mean, let's not judge what's going on in the situation. There's a lot of details that are going to come out, and let's let the process play out. So and see what happens.
Love it. Cody, any NFL news you should share or could share?
I mean, I'd be diving down into depths if I just followed the entire chart. I mean, you got like a Kenny McIntosh as an RB3 torn ACL, but the big stuff, I mean, the Quinshon Judkins stuff in the Browns with Cleveland is pretty massive. He's the only unsigned rookie now, the rookie second round holdout type thing that they kind of co-formed together. The NFLPA thing has been absolutely wild to follow, and all of the collusion and top-down stuff that the NFLPA has been absolutely crazy.
Wait, help me on NFLPA. What do you mean?
So the NFL Players Association has had the head of it and the player head of it resign. And there's a bunch of stuff that, I mean, there was charge receipts going to like Magic City places, if you know what those are, from the NFL executive PA. There was also, he was running the NFL PA while also part of a joint venture to potentially be a owner of an NFL team and buy a stake in an NFL team, which is a extreme, conflict of interest or whatever you want to call that one. It's been ugly and bad all the way down to the NFLPA executive he asked for one of his parking spaces to be combined into two spaces so that it wouldn't ding his Porsche. And then he wanted the numbers to be rechanged from 10 and 11 to 32 to honor OJ Simpson.
Oh, what? That is crazy. I did not hear that. That's wild.
Interesting.
It's a massive brewing story around the NFL right now. And hopefully the NFLPA gets their stuff figured out and the players actually start to pay attention to it a little bit more because they've been run by people who apparently don't really care about them at the top down.
Wow. Wonder what his relationship is to OJ. Now, don't get me wrong. When OJ was being chased in that Bronco, I had tears in my eyes. I remember that day like it was yesterday. But, I mean, my goodness. No. What's going on with that guy?
Crazy. Crazy.
Jessica, great to see you. Thanks for joining us and stopping out and saying hi to us. Yeah, we're doing okay. We're doing okay. It's good to be back on. We're just a few weeks away from preseason. So it's going to be exciting times. And Jake, any news you got to share? And I'll go to you, Brett, to end it out. Any NFL news we didn't cover already?
Yeah, there's a few things. Shamar Stewart finally signed his rookie contract. So I don't know how the Bengals feel about it. I don't know how he feels about it, but he's on the field practicing. So that's huge. That's a win for them. It was handled in a horrendous fashion. Just such a bad look again from the Bengals franchise. I don't even know what's going to happen with Trey Hendrickson still. There's still something going on there. Wow. Another thing that had come out. So I guess there's like about 100 NFL players that had resold Super Bowl tickets for more than the face value or something like that. So there might be some fines and suspensions coming up. Hopefully it's no one on the Buffalo Bills. I don't know if there was players.
Jake, players were doing this?
Yeah.
What?
Mm-hmm.
You're kidding me.
And I would do it too, because the fine is less than what you can sell for resale value. So go ahead and
that's crazy.
It's interesting. But yeah, so the players get like allocated tickets for it, and apparently they can flip it because they get them at face value. They can flip them for like 5x or something, and the fine for it is less than the amount that they're selling them for.
Crazy.
Now that you guys are saying this, I've been saying, I think I said this last year and whatever. So these resale, you get these people, as soon as tickets go on sale, they're snagged. Everyone gets them, especially for like Bills, Kansas City, all the good teams. They snag them, and they're charging 5 times the price. And for I think somehow the NFL has to step in. They have to do something here. And now you got players who are given tickets and they're upping the price. Come on, you make a lot of money, guys. Come on now. By the way, if you got extra tickets, hit me up, especially for the 2026 season. Let's make a deal. Let's make a deal for a ticket. I'm not going to be able to get out to Buffalo this year, but I am. It's on the list for 2026. I was talking to Brett before the show to get to a game. Get to a game. It doesn't have to be season opener against Baltimore because, again, people are going to soak those tickets up and sell them for $1,000 in the nosebleeds. It's going to be insane.
I'm going to that game, by the way.
You are? What? How are you getting in there? Tell me this.
$300.
What?
$300 in a prayer. That's what it is, So
you got 300. You got a ticket for $300.
Well, not officially yet, but we're like this close to buying tickets. I just got to make sure that everyone else is in. Chris and Rick, also from our channel, will be going to that game.
Hey,
so,
I mean, think about me. Come on now,
Mike. Come on.
I will go there if I can get it
okay.
for $300. I'm in.
Okay.
Yeah,
that sounds good. Yeah. We'll talk after this because I'm definitely going. I got to show those guys a good time. We're going to take them out to the bars the night before. It's going to be fun. So yeah, absolutely. And you are absolutely right, Trey. It's for sure crazy D line that they have.
Okay, so it's going to be a fun watch because they're going to be extremely good. Yeah. Talk to me about who's on that D line.
Well, I mean, they have Kayvon Thibodeau. They drafted what's his name? Abdul Carter. They still have Brian Burns. They have Dexter Lawrence, Sexy Dexy, Raheem Nunez-Roches, who's a very underrated player, very good defensive lineman. Darius Alexander, they also took in the 3rd round out of Toledo, who was a projected 1st-round pick at the time. I think they signed Ledbetter too, Jeremiah Ledbetter, I want to say as well, from Jacksonville. Chauncey Golston as well, so more depth piece. That D-line is stacked. Insane. So, yeah, and by the way, there is a name to look out for. There might be a new Julian Edelman in town for the New England Patriots. Efton Chisholm, guy is absolutely insane. He put up ridiculous numbers in college, but now that Josh McDaniels is there, that's kind of been his thing in New England. He develops the next great slot receiver for whatever reason. Unfortunately, it is always with New England, so that is a name to look out for. I heard he's been killing it in camp. A guy that's kind of flown under the radar. I know that receiver room is loaded, but this guy is he's out for blood. So Efton Chisholm, remember the name.
All right.
Hate that it's with New England. Hate it.
And Brett, any news you want to share?
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about the AFC East to begin. The quarterback room for the New York Jets with Justin Fields having or being carted off the field with a dislocated toe. I mean, that's something that's significant.
Crazy.
Obviously, he's going to miss maybe 1 to 2 weeks with that injury. And then let's talk about a comeback story here. I always love these types of stories.
Amen, brother.
Nyheim Hines starting with the Chargers. An incredible story after the jet ski accident 2 years ago. And for him to get back into the league, I mean, the most memorable game that probably will ever live for me in Bill's history was when he returned to kickoffs against the Patriots a few years ago in the DeMar Hamlin game, the week after the DeMar incident. That's incredible. I mean, just to see him back on the field and hopefully healthy again. I just can't wait to see what he does, and hopefully he makes the roster for the Chargers. I know that would be a great room because what Jim Harbaugh does in the running back room is incredible. So there's some injuries there too with some of the running backs. So we'll see what happens, and maybe he can crack the lineup.
How about Hunter Renfrow, by the way, too?
Yeah.
Comeback stories. Holy smokes. Putting on a route running clinic for the Carolina Panthers right now. I don't know if you guys have seen some tape. I know it's just shells. Actually, I don't think it was shells. I think it was no pads, just helmets. But he looks good, man. Hunter Renfrow, look out. He might be back.
Did you see this, Jake? Lorenzo Alexander and Ryan Fitzpatrick were in Buffalo for training camp this week.
I have seen Fitzy commenting on the equipment manager who's like giving the ball to Josh, basically critiquing his form, saying he's in midseason form and everything. Unbelievable commentary from him as always. Check it out. It's on Twitter. It's great stuff. You love to see it.
And I thought this is the name that you'll love, Mike. John Fina in Buffalo, working with the offensive line of the Bills.
All right. Love it. That line's been so good. I see them continuing. I mean, they're going to go to that next level. And those depth pieces that you guys talked about earlier are going to be so key because we've been lucky. We've been lucky so far. That line's been pretty healthy. Can we keep that going? Hope so. Let's see here. I think that's about it, guys. I mean, we're rolling. Again, I couldn't stay to the hour. This rush hour, I got to change the name of this segment here. I don't know. Rush hour and a half.
Yeah, rush hour and a half.
Rush hour.
Maybe
plus.
rush hour-ish.
Rush hour plus, rush hour-ish. Love it. I always forget to ask people up front, and I always ask at the end, and everyone's pretty much gone. But if you haven't smashed that like button, please do so. If you're new to the channel, you're watching this on the rewatch, please drop a nickel on that subscribe button. We greatly appreciate it. It's free, I promise you. And make sure you get into the Discord because we want to talk to all of you. I don't care what fan base you're from. Just be kind to others. Join our Discord, and we'll chat it up with you. Real quick, Cody, any last words from you, sir?
I've got some really, really, really deep dive special teams thing.
Yeah.
Okay,
no.
so let's go with it. Okay,
rush hour, 2 hours. Right now. We're gonna get into this.
So obviously, the kickoff return new form changing from the 30 to the 35 on the kick return.
Yes.
Definitely a major factor for the amount of kick returns that the NFL is going to see. They're also changing some formation stuff with it to make it easier on the returning team. But the big thing, and this is like the most in the weeds deep dive depth that I've ever really gone to, but they changed a rule for the K-ball rule. So the K-ball historically, which if you don't know what the K-ball is, there's a different ball for kickers and punters because they're much more beaten in, inflated, so that way they can kick the ball further comparatively to a quarterback. There's been stories about how a K-ball goes in and the quarterback gets it and he just airmails it completely off the rails because the balls are completely different. But historically, the K-ball has always been the equipment manager is able to bring like 4 or 5 balls into a room with an NFL official before the game, and they get 30 minutes with a towel, a squirt bottle, and a brush. And they basically just get to beat the hell out of the ball as much as possible within that 30-minute window to get the K-ball ready for the game. There's a rule change this year that now the K-ball can be pre-prepared at the facility and brought to the game. So those balls are going to be much, much more they're going to be much more beaten in for the kicker. So 1, you're going to see longer field goals this year actually happen. And 2, you're going to see hang time on punts go incredibly up, and you're not going to see as many punt returns this year. So punt return not being as efficient, more field goals kicked from further distance. And we'll see about the kick return and how many teams will actually still kick it out of the back of the end zone.
Yeah. Hopefully,
I love it. Cody.
Hopefully we see more of that because Cody, that was the initial rule that was submitted. They wanted them to take it at the 35. And NFL said, no, that's too much. So they backed it up to the 30, and every team decided, well, let's let them take it at the 30. It's much safer to do that. And so I hope that it inspires more kickoff returns because I felt like they were going to be able to take advantage of that last year with some of the schemes they put on those returns. And it really wasn't a thing. It was so boring. It turned out to be a boring thing. So hopefully the 35-yard line changes that around. Heck, if that doesn't work, go to the 40. Nobody's going to be kicking out of the end zone. They go to the 40.
Right. Yeah.
Let's go. It's a scoring game, Jake. Why not?
That's right.
Analyze them to the 40, man. Anyhow, guys. That's it, guys. Let's get out of here because I got some family knocking on the door. It's early here on the West Coast, and we'll be back hopefully next Sunday. I hope. And we'll catch you up on week 2 with the pads on, and we'll be getting ready for some preseason going on. So everyone on the channel, thank you so much. Thanks for jumping on. Brett, by the way, go check him out at Go Bills Podcast. He's killing it. Go check out his, and go give him a little love over there. We got Sean coming back. Sean's going to be doing a cool trenches show this year. So, I know a lot of folks in the Discord is like, where's Sean been? Where's Sean been? He's still recovering from that brutal loss last year. But he's coming back. He's coming back. Yeah, he's coming back strong. You already heard where Cody's going to drop me a link where you can go see him. He's in our Discord. You got fantasy football questions, get over to the Discord. We also got Chris and Jeremy that are fantasy football. They'll answer your questions as well. So everyone, have a good one. We'll see you next time. Thank you so much for your support. Go Bills.
Go Bills.
Bills.